Hi, my name is Amber. Welcome back to my channel, Books and Beaches. So it is hard to believe, but we are almost halfway through 2023, and I cannot believe it. I have no idea where the time has gone, but I really hope summer goes nice and slow because I am quite thoroughly enjoying my summer so far. So that being said, it is time to do the mid-year freakout tag. This was one of the very first tag videos I did on my channel last year when I started my channel. So I couldn't not do it again this year. And it was really interesting to kind of look back at the first half of my reading year and see how everything is going, and I can't wait to answer some of these questions. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, question number 1. The best book you've read so far in 2023? It's kind of a tie, and that was Creep and Freak by Jennifer Hillier. I am sure I have talked about those enough, but just like last year when I was looking at my list, I remember those 3 books that I listed there, and once they're good, you just can't stop talking about them. So, number 2, the best sequel you've read so far in 2023. Wow. Like I just said, that would be Freak, because that is a sequel in the Creep and Freak series. But if I had to pick a second one, and this was hard because as I was looking through my books, I realized I hadn't read a lot of sequels this year. I've read a lot of first in the series, but not the second in the series. And so the other one that I would probably say would be The Housemaid's Secret by Freida McFadden, because I did read that one. I have several other series or like second in the series that I want to continue this year, but those are the only ones I've read so far this year. Number 3, a new release you haven't read yet, but you want to. So this one just came out this week, I think, but I got my hands on it a little bit early. I don't know what Barnes & Noble is doing, but they were putting books out on the shelves like a week and a half early. I mean, I'm not complaining about it, but that would be S.A. Cosby's All the Sinners Bleed. I mean, look at this cover. Isn't it stunning? And I have loved everything that I've read by S.A. Cosby so far, so I'm really looking forward to this one. And like I said, I think it just came out on June 6th. So, yeah, I'm filming my mid-year freakout tag a little bit early, but I really enjoyed this one. I really hope to enjoy it. My goodness. No, I have not read it yet. This is what happens when you try to pre-film behind the scenes sneak peek. Alrighty, number 4, the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So one that I know is coming out in just a few short weeks and may already be out by the time you see this video is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I love me some Riley Sager, and I have heard phenomenal things about this one. I think Audrey from Chapter and Converse said it's very comparable to Home Before Dark, like right along in those like realm. And Home Before Dark was the first Riley Sager book that I read, and I loved it. So I cannot wait for this one. And then the other one I'm really looking forward to is One of Us is Back by Karen M. McManus. I believe that is going to be the final book in the One of Us is Lying series. And I happen to have an arc of it, so I have to pick that up sooner rather than later. And I believe, oh, now I gotta look because I'm gonna tell you wrong if I don't. I want to say that one comes out, yep, in August. July 25th. So sooner rather than later, gotta pick that one up. All right. My biggest disappointment so far this year, and I really struggled with this because I don't ever want to say a book was a disappointment. And so it was a book that I had high expectations for and didn't meet those expectations. So I'd rather phrase it that way. And for me, that was You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Jeneva Rose. Now, it wasn't that I disliked the book, because actually the last, like, third of the book, fourth of the book, I really liked, because that's when the thriller aspect of it really picked up. But I had such high expectations because just a month or 2 before that, I had read The Perfect Marriage and loved it. So I expected to like it more than I did. So I wouldn't say it's like a huge disappointment by any means, and it's not going to stop me from reading any of Jeneva Rose's other books. I just had probably higher expectations because of the previous experience that I had. So my biggest surprise, now this isn't necessarily my biggest surprise in books that I've read, but, and honestly, I don't even know where it went. I was gonna hold it up and now I can't find it. Oh well, I better stop looking, but that is going to be The Last Word by Taylor Adams. That was my biggest surprise this year because I did not expect to get a physical print arc of that book. I have gotten arcs before in NetGalley, and yes, that's exciting too, but to be reached out to and asked to get that physical copy was my biggest surprise of the whole year so far. So, number 7, my favorite new author, debut or new to me. So, one that is certainly not new to the book world, but is new to me because I finally just read a book by this author, and that is Peter Swanson. I have been listening to Audrey talk about him for so long, and I finally picked up The Kind Worth Killing, and now I'm looking forward to picking up a lot more Peter Swanson. And I have a couple on my shelves back here. I just have never picked them up, and so I will definitely be picking up the next one in that series. I believe it's The Kind Worth Saving, and yeah, more Peter Swanson as well. So. Number 8, my newest fictional crush. Didn't have an answer for this one last year. I don't have an answer for this one for this year. I think that's the nature of when you read a lot of thrillers, you probably don't find a lot of people to crush on because most of the characters I don't want to crush on. So, oh well. Number 9, my newest favorite character. This one is one of the middle grade novels that I read this year, and that is Della from The Fighting Words. Her actual full name is Delicious, but they call her Della, and she is so sassy and so funny. This is the one where instead of swearing, at least in the book, she uses the word snow, even though in person I think she is doing some of the swearing. I have no idea what I would do if I had a student like her, but I loved reading about her. So she's probably one of my newest favorite characters. Number 10, a book that made you cry. I struggle because I don't necessarily take notes on books that made me cry. And as I was going back through, I think at this point I've read 56 books this year, and I couldn't specifically recall any of them that made me cry. I had suspicions, but I'm pretty sure this one did. And that was When the World Was Ours by Liz Kessler. It's a World War II YA middle grade novel, and this one was suggested to me by Amanda from the Curly Reader. And it was phenomenal. It was one of the first books I read this year, and I am almost positive I cried at the end of that one. And I was also questioning whether or not I cried in The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. That was one I read for middle grade March. I want to say that one made me cry too. So, but I don't think any adult books have made me cry so far yet this year. Maybe a few tears here and there, but not full on sobbing. And I even read a book that I was hoping that would make me full on sob, and it just didn't. So maybe that should have been my disappointment. That one was, oh gosh. Now of course I'm not gonna remember it off the top of my head when I tell you about it. Hold on, I can picture it. Do you ever do that? You can picture the book, but you can't think of what it was called. Oh, it was a book off of TikTok. And of course, my computer is moving super slow, so when I want to give you this answer, it's just not going to. Oh, 1,000 Boy Kisses. So that was one that TikTok said, oh, it'll make you sob. And I was like, no, it's maybe my heart is black, my favorite color. But anyway. All right, moving on. A book that made you happy. Several books probably made me happy. I mean, reading just makes me happy in general. So, but one I can definitely recall smiling because it brought up a lot of fond memories for me, and that was The Beach Trap by Allie Brady. It was based a lot in Florida on the beach. I think it was Destin. And to me, that just brings up a lot of memories because I have spent a lot of family trips in the Gulf Shores area of Alabama, and that is also on the Gulf Coast, same as Destin. And so it just brought up a lot of those fun memories for me. So that one definitely made me happy. Number 12, the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. This is definitely one that I have picked up. I have not read it yet, but it is the most beautiful book that I've ever seen. Well, probably not that I've ever seen, but that I've seen this year. And that is Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. This book is gorgeous. I mean, does this cover not scream books and beaches? A beautiful lake view? Gorgeous. So that is probably the most beautiful book I picked up this year. And then the final question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? All the ones that are stacked over here. probably some of these new releases that are stacked here. So I have a lot. I'm pretty sure if I look at my 23 and 23 that I want to read, which I'm sure you'll hear me talk about a lot lately because I've tried to up that one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 15 books to read left on that list. So let's start with those as a priority and we'll go from there. So those are definitely ones that I need to read, but my normal answer would be all of them. So that is all the questions for the mid-year freakout tag. Like I said, I cannot believe we are already halfway through basically 2023. What are some of the answers to the questions that you might have had? Let me know in the comments below. Are there some amazing books that you've picked up this year that you want to let me know about? I would love to hear about them. As always, if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.